Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast presents episode 533, Grifcon 2016, recorded live on March 26th, 2016.
Hey everybody, welcome to the GrifballHub cast, episode 294, and simultaneously,
Podtacular episode number 533.
always gotta sound so much bigger.
I know.
Well, we've been around for a little bit longer, so naturally the numbers are bigger, but that doesn't mean that your podcast is any less quality than ours, so we have to stick together as podcasters.
Or crush them.
Or how about together, it's podcast number like 800 and something. Does that sound better?
That's quite a lot.
So we've got some really cool people here with us. Obviously, Cal and Goose here from GrifballHub, and Dusty, a host of Podtacular, having a Podtacular Grif cast, or something like that. But we also have Receptor 17.
Griftacular cast.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
Receptor's here.
Morning, folks.
Oh, yeah, it is morning over there.
Good
And
morning.
we also have SonicChaos.
Hello, everyone.
And DJ's here, but he's off eating something. Probably food.
Hopefully.
Food.
Hopefully food.
Yep.
Yes.
Hopefully food.
Yes,
But,
I
the-
It'd be
broadcast-
very strange if it wasn't food.
The reason for this simul co-op cast.
The simulcast.
I like co-op cast.
The
That's
co-op
really nice.
cast?
Yeah, the co-op
Okay.
cast. GrifballHub is running our Kickstarter, and right now we are doing our 24-hour live stream. And so to help keep our sanity, Dusty was kind enough to have co-host with Podtacular to make our brains a little less squishy and spongy than they've turned into in the last 12 hours. So thanks, Dusty.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for putting on a wonderful Kickstarter. You guys have been doing it for such a long time. It's great to see you guys keep on going back at it again and again to bring Grifball to RTX. It's so awesome. And I definitely know the pain of 24 hours now because we did the Operation Supply Drop stream, and I was up for almost the 36 hours in full, just about. I think I got 2.5 hours of sleep during a full 34.5 hour period. So that was fun.
That's not okay. Like, that is so not
I know,
okay.
yeah.
Hey, I'm still here, right?
Yeah, you made it, I guess.
It's like the equivalent of letting your computer be on for a year without a reboot.
Are you talking about your brain or your actual computer?
Yes, both.
Okay, well, let's just jump right into the good stuff. So a quick update on the Kickstarter. If you're tuning in live, you can go to grifballhub.com/Kickstarter and back us. We're at 17.
Yeah, 17,000.
17,272.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome.
And
This
if
is
we
a-
reach a certain number, we will
Uh,
have something special.
Do we want to give a little background for perhaps the Podtacular listeners who haven't heard us plugging the Kickstarter every single week for the last month?
Wait, there's people that exist that haven't heard it?
Maybe. We always hear about them at RTX. People come up to
Oh.
the booth and be like, oh, why didn't you tell me you had a Kickstarter?
And I want to strangle them.
So we have mentioned the Kickstarter on the podcast before. We did mention it when you guys first launched. And I have happily said that for the second year in a row, I've been the first donation for the Kickstarter.
Yep, you and Leo
Yay.
seem to have a contest every
Yeah,
year.
you guys fight it out.
Although he always beats me on the monetary side. I always just like try to get in there. Once you guys post the announcement, I'm like, donate, done.
You got it.
First.
Yes, always. But it's a great Kickstarter. But I guess for those of the listeners for Podtacular who haven't listened to said podcast a few weeks ago where we did mention the Kickstarter, tell us a little bit about what Grifcon is.
Grifcon, also known as the Rooster Teeth Convention. I'm so tired.
I can do it,
Grifcon.
Goose. It's okay. I've given this spiel like 9 times today.
And
It's
I
okay.
haven't.
The Grifcon is our name for RTX. It's the Rooster Teeth convention that's held in Austin, Texas every single summer. It is the biggest collection of Grifballers every year. So if you consider yourself a Grifball fan, Rooster Teeth, the RTX is the place you want to go, the one convention of the year you want to attend. And this will be the 4th year in a row that GrifballHub has had a booth on the show floor. That means that we have, gaming stations set up. So we have Xboxes, we have screens and games cases set up so people can drop by the booth and play Grifball anytime the convention is open. We hold Grifball tournaments and events there. And the Kickstarter also funds Grifball swag that we have available at the booth. So things like, bags and lanyards and stickers and buttons and things, wristbands and things like that, that we give away for free, including our Grifball box art. We usually get like 1,000 copies of our Grifball box art which is like Halo 5 Grifball Edition. And you can take it home and put it in your Halo 5 Grifball box and have a really cool Grifball cover for your Halo 5 disc. So we have all of this stuff. The Kickstarter allows us to just give it away for free. We have a lot of folks who come to our booth who are just amazed that, wow, all of this stuff is free.
Well, not all, like the shirts and stuff.
Well, but all the free stuff, like the wristbands, the buttons, the box
art. All
this
free stuff is free?
Yeah, we usually have all the free...
of course, all the free stuff is free.
I know.
We usually have all the free stuff like on its own table. That's like, all of this here is free. It's like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. Because it's all paid for through our Kickstarter that we do and the generous donations of the Halo, Rooster Teeth, and Grifball communities. So this will be the 4th year we have a booth at RTX. The first year, it was a 10 by 20 booth. So a relatively small booth. We had 4 TVs set up that were playing split screen for some 4v4 Grifball. And then the booth has just grown from there.
Every single year, it just gets bigger.
It gets bigger and bigger.
It's like a chia pet.
Yeah. Just keep watering it and it just keeps growing hair out of its back.
Do you know what a chia pet is?
Yeah, you water it and the hair grows out.
Chia pets don't grow hair.
Well, they do. If it's like a chia hamster and then you water it and the hair grows out of the back.
What do they have you play with in upstate New York?
Or you get like the Chia Obama and you put water on it and the hair grows.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a Chia pet, right? I'm not thinking of something else. Okay. So yeah, the Kickstarter just grows every year. The booth grows every year. It's really amazing the boundless generosity of our communities and how much they want to see Grifball and Halo succeed and grow. And how many people that are at RTX and just really enjoy playing Grifball and love seeing us there every year.
Yep, it is the largest Halo fan community supported fan event.
RTX?
No.
Grifcon? Yep. It's pretty huge. And yeah, so we do this. I mean, GrifballHub, as folks I'm sure know, we're not owned by 343. We're not owned by Rooster Teeth. We are just a fan community. This is just, money that we've gotten from fans and a few other sources. It's not like 343 is giving us $20,000 to go do a Grifball booth for them or anything like that.
But if they wanted
to, of course we would take it. But we are not 343 employees. So this is just, community stuff that people give their hard-earned dollars for and run the Kickstarter for. And it allows us to put together a kick-ass Grifball booth.
So, Cal, how is this year's Kickstarter different than last year's Kickstarter?
When Dusty asked that question?
No, because I used my special question voice.
I was going to ask that question, but... And joining us on the podcast now, who was away at the beginning, Mr. DJBlue.
Hi, I had to let the dog out and do a bunch of things. Sorry. Hi, how are you? I really like your mic set.
That finally answers the question.
Yeah,
DJ.
What's up?
Yeah.
Yep.
Who let the dogs out?
DJ.
Who let the dogs out?
Yep.
I did, because he's 200 pounds and he'll come down here and fart in ways that is terrible. So
I don't remember that in the song.
So I am going to actually rephrase Goose's question just a little bit. And I'm going to say, for the last couple of years, we've seen the expanse of the booth, which has been awesome. We've seen new swag introduced. So there's stickers, there's buttons, there's been cinch bags and T-shirts that have been really awesome. But for the people that have seen the Grifball booth there, you guys got the biggest space that you could last year, and you actually got internet so you could stream games. But you're going one step further for your last stretch goal. So tell us about that, because we've seen the blueprints, and it looks totally awesome.
Yeah, for our final stretch goal, we're trying to hit $21,000 on our Kickstarter. Like we said earlier, we're at 17 and change right now, so it's well within reach. We're about 80% of the way there. We are going to be doubling the size of our Grifball booth again. So it's going to go from a 20 by 20 booth to a 20 by 40 booth. So up to 800 square feet rather than 400 square feet. And we'll be building a Grifball stage. So we'll have our own Grifball center stage. If you've ever been to RTX, you know that there's a Rooster Teeth main stage where they have, games up there. They have like Ubisoft up there doing their latest demo stuff, and they have Achievement Hunter doing sessions up there and the whole 9 yards. And we've played Grifball up there a few times in the past few years. But we want to build our own stage at our own Grifball booth. So what this would enable us to do is get a giant stage. It'll take up about half the booth. It'll be, 3 feet tall or so, and put the players up there, put 8 Xboxes up there. We'll have our commentators up there calling the action with like fancy sound systems and lights and a giant projector, a giant 9-foot tall screen to project the live stream up there and the live Grifball action, as well as a seating area so attendees can come by and grab a seat and watch what's going on in Grifball land.
Awesome. And we got a little taste of it last year when you hosted the Grifball tournament there too.
Yeah. We had our championship game for our Grifball tournament. Last year, our Grifball tournament, 343 put up a $5,000 cash prize for us, which is very generous of them. And our championship game was held on the Rooster Teeth main stage.
Yes.
So we had up in lights, we had Easy as Pie versus Natural Selection, two of our very best Grifball teams, and they were up there to play the championship game for the $5,000 for how that's divided up. And it was really awesome because we had their names up in lights on the giant screen behind them, and we had Goose and DJ and Receptor up there, doing the commentary and hosting the whole event, and it was amazing.
It was so much fun. It was the best first con ever for me. Yeah.
So yeah, DJ's spoiled forever now since that was his first con.
Kind of, yeah. I don't know how to go to a con as a regular attendee, and that's a terrible thing.
Nope.
I will say too that GrifballHub really came through for Podtacular last year for bringing 360s to our 10-year anniversary party, and we had Halo 2 LAN playing throughout the entire evening because Podtacular got start during the Halo 2 days, so we figured, well, not many people have LAN on original Halo 2,
yeah.
So why not do a Halo 2 LAN? So it was so much fun. I think everyone there. We tried to get everyone to play at least one game between drinks and food and everything else that went down as we tried to use
food,
up the bill.
drinks,
and more drinks.
Yeah, it's hilarious though. I haven't. That was absolutely one of the best moments of the whole weekend. And I got to say, you threw an amazing party, but watching everybody get in and play the good old fashioned Halo 2 stuff was just awesome. I will never forget Digital's face as he just kept smirking every time he would walk around and kill everybody. And I just thought, well, I can't do that. That's for sure.
The cake was probably my favorite part.
The cake was nice.
Cake was good.
That was where I got my first. I played Halo 2 LAN many years ago, like on the old Xbox when I was very young, against my friends who played online. Every time they wiped the floor with me, I think in my entire career playing Halo 2 LAN beforehand, I got 3 kills in multiple games. Like 3 kills in my entire career. Then I proceeded to play at the Halo 2 LAN at the Podtacular party. I actually won. He was like, how did I win this? Apparently, I think Bywolf was very disappointed. I remember his look of actually angry despair that he'd lost to someone who
That's Bio for you.
had only ever earned 3 kills in an entire time in Halo 2.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so we're kind of chilling in the past, but last year was a lot of fun. It was Podtacular's 10th. It was the biggest Grifball booth we'd ever had, and now we're almost a year later and getting ready to go at it again, and trying to make Grifball bigger and better every single year. Not only improving the experience for the people who are on the show floor, but also improving the experience for the people who can't make it to RTX. Because we do know that even though a lot of Grifballers are going to show up, most people can't. And so we want to be able to give them the best experience possible with the highest quality internet and the best staging and lighting, and to give you as good an experience away from home as we can deliver on the show floor itself.
And we are really fortunate too, just the innate ties that Grifball has with Rooster Teeth and with RTX. I mean, this is where we got the idea of even exhibiting at RTX, is because Rooster Teeth invented Grifball back in the day. Back in 2007, when Halo 3 first came out, when the first map pack came out, Bernie and Gavin and the folks at Rooster Teeth invented Grifball for the very first time. They designed it and named it and ran the first leagues and used to run the Grifball website and all that. So it's just kind of a natural fit to have our biggest Grifball event of the year, piggybacking off of RTX. And given Rooster Teeth's, close association with Halo and close association with 343 and before them Bungie, it just makes sense to have other Halo communities congregate at RTX as well, for, yearly get-togethers. That, PAX Prime, or PAX West, I suppose it's called now, we usually have a large contingent of Halo players. Folks, go see 343 and hang out with 343 employees, and that's a ton of fun. But there's just something very special about having Rooster Teeth and Grifball together at RTX every year.
Yeah, if you're a Grifballer, if Grifball is your thing and you can only go to one event a year, it's definitely RTX. But we might be biased.
We definitely agree.
Yeah, see, there we go. We got an endorsement.
Yeah, even if you're in the area, though, and are a big Halo fan, if you don't want to pay to go to PAX West because it is kind of expensive. You're looking at easily $1,000 or more for an entire trip, depending on where you're staying. And then spending money on buying stuff at PAX, food, trying to get around, transportation, airfare, so all that stuff. So RTX is definitely a good, like, even if you're just a Halo fan, it's a good alternate for any Halo person to really go to, because there is, like Goose said, that root of Halo within the Rooster Teeth community.
Yeah.
And I think I think Halo is intending to be at RTX this year. They were intending to be there last year too, but ended up not being able to go.
Gamescom.
Because of Gamescom.
Yeah, the German Gamescom, yeah.
Yeah, so it's possible. I mean, they're planned, I guess, is as good as I can say. So there might actually be 343 there. But yeah, one thing I like about RTX is that it's smaller. Because you go to PAX, there's 80,000 people. It's madness. Whereas RTX can be plenty hectic, but it still is manageable. And honestly, I mean, I don't think I've ever actually walked around the floor. I've always been in the Grifball booth.
I think at RTX they sell like 10 to 15,000 tickets a day. So overall, there's over the 3-day span, there's 30,000 tickets sold, which is much smaller than PAX, which has 50 to 60,000 people there per day. So that's about a third of the size of PAX.
Wasn't the first RTX like 300 people, or was supposed to be 300 before their ticket system broke?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a small outdoor thing, and then they finally kept expanding, got air conditioning, and I think that they're renting the entire convention center this year, aren't they?
Yeah, that is true. Before they didn't have the entire thing. Now the entire facility is rented to them. Yep. So it's going to be even bigger. They've had more people show more interest, and there's going to be more exclusives, more releases, and more debuts that are going to happen there.
And another reason to go is it's 4th of July weekend, so you have a holiday on Monday.
Yay!
So there's right there.
Yep.
I am very much looking forward to being there for that. To be in America, the capital of Texas, no less, for Independence Day.
I thought you were going to call it what you really call it. What do you really call Independence Day?
I will be calling it Treason Day. I will be very happy Treason Day, traitors. Also, I'll be just sitting there drinking tea, watching you all try to blow each other up with pyrotechnics.
Yeah, I want to make sure that Receptor's wearing cowboy boots, a cowboy hat, eating a hot dog and deep fried Oreos, and drinking a beer underneath the fireworks. I feel like
we'll make it happen.
That
is to get the full American experience.
I did buy a Stetson because if you remember, my hat broke when I was at RTX last year, so I actually have got a Stetson. So I have that part. I just need to get the boots, a Glock 9mm.
He's gonna get it.
No, we'll get some fireworks and go out somewhere where we can shoot them off for you too.
I'm surprised he wasn't given a gun for free when he bought the cowboy hat. I thought in Texas was free gun.
And there's also usually an option to get the alternate. You can either get a real one or you can get the one that you can fill up with vodka.
I like the vodka version. I like the vodka.
Right? That's what I'm thinking. There you go. Hey.
The American experience.
Yeah.
But I want you to be wearing a shirt with a British flag that says, we did this.
You'll never get on without us.
We own you.
I'll just say we'll happily. If Trump wins, we'll happily. If Trump wins, we'll just have a sign saying, "Unfortunately, due to Trump winning, it's pretty clear that you are still not capable of running government, so we're going to take it over again."
The Queen will be back.
Yeah, the Queen shall take over. We shall babysit you until this illness has left.
Of course, having the 4th of July and that Monday throws off our groove a little bit because we have to. Monday is normally the day when we mail out all our swag bags to people who didn't pick them up. Because you don't the Kickstarter, you get a swag bag. You can pick it up at RTX. If you don't pick it up at RTX, we'll mail it out the Monday after RTX.
Yes.
Can't do that this year because all the post offices will be closed.
Yep.
So we'll have to stay an extra day in Texas.
So you can always, this is what I do for mine. You just print off the postage and then you just drop it off at the post office. It's cheaper too.
Office will be closed.
It depends.
There's usually drop boxes though.
Yeah, there's usually drop boxes.
But we're also talking the large, expensive.
Well, the main issue I'd have with that is we can't print off the postage beforehand because we don't know exactly who's going to pick up their swag bag and who's not at RTX. And sometimes we go through all of RTX, somebody says, "Yeah, I'll be there and I'll pick up my bag," and we never see them. In which case we have to mail it to them afterwards. So we'd have to go and print the postage anyway.
Yeah, you just print it at like at the hotel lobby. You just print out the sheet.
We don't stay at a hotel.
No, we crashed at
No.
couch.
No, you get someone that is at a hotel to print it off for you.
Yes, we will be having Grif House. The normal Grif House not available. Like it didn't even register as something that
somebody
was an
took
option.
it. Whoever took it, we're gonna find you.
I want to know.
Hey, it wasn't me. I haven't even booked mine
Who
yet.
took what?
I had 3 or 4 people ask me where we stayed, and I gave them, and I told them explicitly, this is Grif House, leave it alone, and it's not there. So there's a new place, but the benefit of the new place is that it's bigger. So we're gonna I think we're next couple extra people in there too, but it's bigger. It's like 4 full bedrooms.
Is in the same complex?
Rail yard. Yeah, it's in
What
that
number?
rail yard complex. So super excited, super awesome.
I think those are all just condos owned by people, and they rent
Is it
them
the
out.
one that I wonder if it's the one that we had last year, because we had one that was in the same complex.
I don't remember. I never saw your guys' place.
Well, if you need another roomie,
Yeah,
we
might.
We might actually. Let me get back here. Hold that thought. But yeah. So yay, Grif House. We're very, very excited. And yeah, so all of this, the Kickstarter is what makes all this happen. And again, if we get to 2,100 or 21,000 rather, we get the really cool stage. If we don't get there, we'll figure something out.
it's really cool. If people haven't seen the blueprints yet, is it up on the website, or was it just the Kickstarter update?
It is.
It's on there's a Kickstarter update. I put the link in chat.
Yeah, Sonic was the one who put together the blueprint and priced out all of this expansion stuff because he's a wizard with a lot of this AV and streaming and like show stuff.
Wizard Sonic.
So, Sonic, when you put it together, what were you looking at first of making it look nice? Because you thought of a lot of things I never would have thought of.
Yeah, I mean the main thing was just trying to go through and knock out everything that I knew was essential straight away. So I mean booth space, the stage, screen, speakers, all of that, and basically try to stick with bare minimals at first, and then kind of looked at them like, okay, if I'm watching this, what do I really want to add to make it look better? So that's where a lot of the accent lighting really came in, just to kind of give it a bit more color and give us a bit more options as to what we can do, because they all have like wireless controllers, so we can actually remote those up. We can have those set to music in between games, whatnot. There's plenty of options that we can really do with that.
Nice.
And even
DJ's gonna have fun with it.
I should bring my DJ equipment and just hook it up and then spin when I'm not casting.
I mean, you saw mine last year. I can bring that. It's portable.
Yeah, there we go.
Crazy.
So you have things like handheld mics for the commentators up there. We're going to be getting headsets for the players. Like high quality headsets for the Xbox One controllers, so they can communicate with each other easily and not have to hear DJ and receptor and all them in their ears right behind them.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit awkward if we're saying that a man cannon is currently camping on the spawn of a righteous kill. They just turn around and that prevents them from getting the attack.
Ooh,
yeah.
On that note, I should bring this up later. Never mind.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
The story.
I
I
have a question about the staging for the broadcasting area, because of course this is going to be the biggest broadcast setup we've ever done for GrifballHub. So my question is, I know that the commentators booth is there in dead center behind half court on
the streaming booth
right.
where Sonic's computers can be.
Yeah, where the broadcasters will be, right?
No.
Where the streaming computers.
Commentators are behind the players.
We're doing the main stage job again, where we're on main stage doing the thing.
Yep.
Wait, okay. So then, but when we're casting during the week, during Friday and Saturday, the non-championship section, are we going to be standing with microphones the entire time?
We're not casting on the non-stage section. Every single tournament game is going to be done on the center stage, because we don't have an artificial deadline, because like Rooster Teeth has their stage time on Sunday morning. We have the whole day Sunday that we can do to put games up there.
Yeah, we
have
can
a lot more time to fill.
a bit more.
Plus Halo 5
So we
seems
aren't
like
actually going to have a commentators section where we've got our own desk to commentate from.
Nope, we are going to be standing and announcing, so we're going to be all about the action.
Because we have the new live spectate commentators, the new spectate casting mode that's coming like next month.
Details. We'll work that out later.
All right.
Yeah, this is really inside baseball here. So let's, I guess, kind of brighten it back out. There's kind of an inside look on all the details, like how many outlets do we need? Really exciting stuff is what makes it happen. But yeah, we're really, really excited. I mean, last year we were the only Halo presence there. I think they played Halo 5 on the main stage. Maybe no, because it wasn't even out yet. But yeah, we were the only Halo presence there. Hopefully 343 will be there, but if not, obviously we will be there. And hopefully with a beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, crowd-funded stage. And of course, I don't think we've mentioned them yet. Our sponsors, there is a company called Stream.me, which is a video game streaming service. And they sponsored us for $13,000 to make this thing happen. So we're really, really thankful to them, because without that, we have a fantastic community, but this would just be something that's above and beyond. So
yeah, we would have
we wouldn't even be able to discuss this.
This would have been even more. This would have been a total pipe dream if we had gotten the sponsorship by Stream.me. They saw our Kickstarter go online, and they're like, "Hey, we're based in Austin. We want to reach out to this RTX audience. GrifballHub seems to have quite a good foothold at RTX. Maybe we can help them out." Basically, our goals. Stream.me donated money to us. They dropped $10,000 in the kitty for the Kickstarter, and then they donated. They sent us $3,500 also for the booth by PayPal. It's basically doubling the costs of the Kickstarter booth of our Kickstarter. Allows us to get twice.
The profit?
Yeah, doubling the amount of money.
Cost.
Yeah, it's doubling the cost to double the space of the booth and put up the stage and the lighting and all this extra stuff too.
Right.
And it's because we have the support of Stream.me in addition to the support of our community that allows us to do the biggest and best Grifcon ever.
And our strategic partners with people like Games, who are hooking us up with the games cases to play on. And who am I forgetting? Microsoft. They're going to help us out with Xbox Ones, and Gamers Galaxy, which is the local-owned game shop.
That place was Aladdin's cave. It was outrageous.
They are so
never
so
seen such a
sweet
beautiful place.
So helpful and so nice. And that we're going to be reaching out to them again. And
cookies.
Of course, if you want to, there's nothing in our contract to say that we can't have more sponsors. So, if somebody was interested in getting some advertising space or something like that, let us know, because we're always looking to make Grifball bigger and better. I know I'll be reaching out to 343 soon now that HCS is over, to see if maybe they want to sponsor the tournament again.
Of course, the main for our folks who donate from the Kickstarter, our reels, we have a banner up at our booth saying "This booth sponsored by," and on there we have the names of everybody who donates $35 or more to the Kickstarter.
Yes,
you get a special sponsor shout out. Actually, a banner printed on the booth.
Your name will be there,
even
if you're not.
We had pictures of it.
Forever ingrained in RTX history.
Yes.
Pretty much. Because you guys get a lot of traffic, actually, for everything that's...
Yeah, I know our booth is one that is never empty.
Never.
There's always people playing.
And it's at least in RTXs in the past, it's been one of the relatively few booths where there's actually something to do there. There's a lot of booths that are like a local Austin business where they're selling something, or like a used game store, or like here's some bobblehead stuff. There's a couple of booths like the games booth where you see the hardware, but there's not games to play. But our booth at RTX, it's something where people can go and they can sit down and they can actually play a game.
Yay, games.
Yes.
Yes, Halo games. So I have one more technical question about the tournament thing set up. Who's running tech for it? Is that also being doing by StreamMe, or is it someone else? Is just Grifball staff running all the tech?
We have a lot of magical snowflakes in our community.
Yep.
So I know DJ is one of them, and Sonic, who is also on here, is one of them. And other sides of tech include like the map loading, which is something I'm so glad we have Taco for.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in a million years you could get me to do that. So yeah, basically everything is run by Grifballers, because we do have such a really wonderfully diverse, technically savvy group.
And just to point something out, like if it hadn't been for everything that happened, the downhill, the snowballing effect that happened wasn't really downhill. It was more of an uphill, but it was because it got bigger. It was cool, but it was a downhill. For what happened from RTX forward, if that hadn't happened with what happened at RTX and then PAX Prime rolling into TwitchCon, I wouldn't have been handed Lightning Strike Entertainment Group. Like, they handed me an entire production company and said, "Here you go.
Make it happen.
Do your thing. Let us know what you need. Have at it." Between that and Mount Hood Community College, like, I have a radio station and a television studio at my fingertips that is, yay, fun. Lots of buttons to push. Microphones and condenser mic holders, which I like the fact that you have one right there, and I really want to
He's
get one.
geeking out. He's geeking out.
But
there's also this
Sonic-
really nice person who comes every single year who's got this giant camera attached to his face.
Takes a lot of photos so we
Takes
can use
a
it
lot
next
of
year's
pictures.
Kickstarter.
And I think that's a really unsung hero of RTX because we're so busy running around with our heads cut off.
Hey, if you go to the Kickstarter, you scroll all the way to the very bottom. There's a special line of thank you for Dusty from Podtacular for taking the photos.
You just ruined the suspense.
But when you do that, be sure don't just scroll down to the bottom of the Kickstarter. Like, read every single line of everything on the Kickstarter to donate, and then scroll down to the bottom to read the thank you to Dusty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just on your just go normally. You'll see something there maybe. No, it's always a pleasure. It's always awesome to support you guys.
It's amusing where you got there because Dusty had his camera out and somehow he spotted me halfway through the convention. I think I was at at the Impact Props booth, and suddenly it's the one time I actually had Wi-Fi.
I sent you a DM.
Yeah, it cost me like $5 for 1 megabyte of memory or something. So thankfully, I was using the free Wi-Fi there that one time, and I suddenly get this stack of tweets, and one just goes, "Dusty mentioned you in a tweet. Look at it. I spotted a wild Welshman. Like, where the hell is he?" It's like, I don't know how I could miss him, considering this guy is about as tall as Ben Nevis, but it's like, what?
I remember where you were, too.
It's
that photo
talking
you
me.
took of me and Golden Boy is still one of my favorites from when we casted 2 years ago. That was so cool.
That's a great
yeah,
photo.
I mean, it's really a community effort, a Halo community effort, and we really appreciate everybody who has donated and is continuing to help. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, the Forge Hub guys were in there with us working on maps, and that definitely helps. I mean, one, it's made the 24-hour stream a lot more bearable because there's different maps to play on. But, you know, the entire Halo community just really comes together and is really supportive. And we're just so thankful that people want to continue to help us and to be awesome.
And that's actually something I wanted to ask about because there's been a lot of discussion. Because one of the things that whenever they announced the new game modes, everyone was going crazy about Grifball, and everyone loves Grifball. But there's only the one map. And I know there was a bunch of playtest maps on the Grifball stream whenever you did the tournament for Operation Supply Drop. And we just got a new bucket of maps out this yesterday, actually.
Yes.
That are out there in release. So
yes.
How has been the progress of actually getting maps into the Halo 5 Grifball? And what, like, having all the... I mean, I'm assuming Narcare has been a big part of it, so has Nuclear Taco. But how's it been to get these, and what are the new maps like for Grifball now?
Well, a bit of what the process was like. When they launched Grifball, they basically gave Knockyard like a 2-week deadline of get us new maps. So that he was working on a really tight deadline. He and Forge Hub, GrifballHub and Forge Hub had this big, hey, share your maps type of thing for, you know, like 2 or 3 weeks or two-ish weeks. And then Knockyard pulled myself and Taco and some Forge Hub people in, and we spent like 3 hours going through all the maps that had been pulled for consideration. And then after going through all of them, we all rated our preferences. So we rated our top 10 maps. And then everybody sent that to Knockyard, who then did basically a factor analysis to find the most common, top 5. You know, if you can only include 5, here's the top 5. If you can include 10, here's the top 10. And that's what got shipped to 343. So there's nothing in Grifball matchmaking now that, other than the default Grifball card, of course, that Grifballers have not at least had a chance to play test and make adjustments to. So sometimes there's one called Frontier, which has this really cool opening launch scene where the doors open and you launch out onto kind of looks like a stadium or a prison yard. And I remember when I was playing, the ground was really busy. There was a lot of what's that called?
Z fighting?
Not Z fighting. When you wear like stripes on TV and it blurs.
Like flickering?
Moray. There we go. Moray. The Moray effect. There was a lot of that, and it was really distracting. And so when you go there, it's not there anymore. If you played the blue versus red map, the one that has all the Spartan, the red versus blue character Spartan heads on it, which is really cool, the floor, quote unquote, used to just be transparent, but now they use the checkerboard floor to help people maybe not feel so nauseous. So, we've had some tweaks in Crow's Nest. Sometimes the Pelican didn't despawn. So, small things like that.
In fact, the maker of the blue versus red versus blue map was in the stream earlier today and actually donated to the hub.
Yeah, donated to the
yes.
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I kept saying his name wrong because I didn't realize it was Jason backwards with numbers. I was like 05 something. But I mentioned his name each time, and then we brought his map up. I made that. What?
I thought it might have been a new account for AJ at first. Just a bunch of numbers and AJ. I'm like, okay.
Right. Yeah.
The response we got when we opened up the submission process for the maps was pretty intense. There were a lot of very, very talented forgers out there. And the tools that are available in Halo 5, I mean, I'm not a forger. I've never touched Forge. I never want to touch Forge. I am so thankful there are people out there who are better than I would ever dream of being at Forge. But like the tools that are available in Halo 5 are so expansive and beyond what's come in previous Halo titles that not only can people make really high quality Grifball maps, like higher quality than we've ever seen before, but they can put them together so quickly.
Yeah.
Like Grifball was available for 2 weeks when we pretty much Grifball was available for 2 weeks by the time we closed the map submission contest. And it was just amazing. These maps people submitted, they were just jaw-droppingly beautiful. And it helped too that Knockyard was able to put together a really good template of like, here's how big the court is, here how high the wall hops are, here are the invisible barriers, here are the spawns, here's the the plants, here's the bomb plants, here's where the bomb spawns. Like Knockyard put together this template where people just load the template and then they just paint their design around it, so everything is exactly where it has to be for standard Grifball core arrangements.
I think one of the most interesting parts of that process was you had Grifballers and then you had forgers. And I mean, Taco and Knockyard are obviously both, but they show us a map and the forgers would go, ooh, and ah, and the Grifballers would go, that's really distracting. And then they'd go to a new map and we'd go, Grifballers would go, ooh, and ah, and the forgers would go, this is really boring.
Yeah.
I don't need like pinwheels painted on the floor. I don't need fireworks going on. Like, really, I want my box. And what I got to move around the box is fine, but leave my box alone. I don't want you touching my box.
The biggest disagreement was like busyness on the sides of the court, because the Grifballers want the busyness to be on the left and the right of the court, so you're not always seeing it because usually just facing north and south. But the busyness, if you have it, should be on east and west, so that it's not distracting all the time when you're going from plant to plant. The forgers, on the other hand, were like, man, why are you hiding all of this fancy stuff to the sides? Put it right behind the bomb plant so you always see it.
You should spawn and see it.
Like it was like, no, that's distracting for us. We want to, it needs to be clear enough to play without distractions.
Yeah.
So I had a conversation with Unicheck actually, where he brought that up when I was at 343 on Wednesday, about how different it was with regards. You knew who the Grifballers were in the map test because their feedback was very specific, reasoned, and detailed. Like, no, and here's why, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Boom. And the non-Grifball people were like, "Oh, that's pretty."
Goose had a saving moment. Goose saved people a lot of grief.
I saved you all, and you were all welcome.
There was a map, which is a very, very cool map. I think it's called Grunt Stadium. It was very highly up.
Awesome. Yes,
might have seen it. It's a map where, as the game progresses, the grunts in the audience get more and more restless, and eventually they start fighting each other. There's like flames flying, and there's this giant grunt riot if the game takes too long to complete. And so, Knockyard and some of the other forgers were like, this is awesome. I think we should have a lulzy court in matchmaking. This looks spectacular. And Goose,
shut them down. I broke
say?
all the joy. I got a killjoy medal is what I got. Well, what I told him is that, you're basically encouraging stat padding, because if the good stuff doesn't come for 5 minutes, then people they're going to intentionally not score the ball if for no other reason than to try and watch what's happening.
Wait, so that's why that map is missing now?
Yeah, it's not in matchmaking because
we're terrible people.
Look on DJ's face.
It's also no longer in my bookmarks.
Oh no. You can read down. I'm sure it's on the guy's file share still, and it's on the GrifballHub. I believe there's a thread for it in the map forum. If you go to GrifballHub,
it was so cool.
It was a great map, but it just encouraged far too much nonsense from idiots.
It is definitely a streamable feature because, oh my god, the grunts go crazy. Yeah. Granted, I died a lot because I was busy looking at the grunts, going, "Wait,
I think we should save it maybe for a league game for a laugh, maybe on Spring
or play it tonight on the stream. Like you can totally play it on the stream. That's fine. But the idea that it would go into matchmaking, and you are rewarding people for doing the opposite of the objective.
Sadly,
it's like I have a degree in psychology and game design or something.
Yeah,
I figure.
Yeah, we lucked out with Goose there, right? No, explain it very clearly why it's a bad idea to put that map into matchmaking.
So
Yeah.
your dreams, I crushed.
So you're 1 for 1. You got rid of Grunt
I'm
Stadium, but you couldn't get rid of Chichen Itza.
I tried so hard. I tried.
Hey,
Dude,
I'm really good at those ground pounds, man. That's awesome. That stuff is fun. I mean,
think
I may hate it, but it's hilarious.
The
I
general
feel like
population, I think, loved Chichen Itza's new version. Was it Bloodsport? Blood.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I mean,
No.
I think they're very glad to have that back. We, as the league players,
No.
maybe not, but for the general populace, for the 98% of Grifballers, we love it.
I never played Chichen Itza, though. I only played Bloodsport.
So he doesn't
I mean-
have horrible nightmares.
He's not
It doesn't have the
traumatized.
memories of before Grand Pound and Dash.
Yeah, ground pound's awesome.
Traumatized.
I was saying earlier, I want to see a remake of Block Drop.
Yeah.
If they remake
If
any of the Halo
remake
3 courts, it needs to be
Chichen Itza,
Block Drop.
Yeah,
remake
Block Drop
Block
is fun.
It's where for those who might not know, Block Drop was a Grifball court in the crypt in Halo 3, and it was just a plain old court, but every set time or so, 3 of the large forging blocks would be flung out. And so sometimes you could hide, but
Sometimes they would crush you.
Sometimes you get splattered. But think about how much fun that would be since you can clamber. You
Yeah.
just be able to get on top of the box, you could stack the boxes and climb top. And ground pound
basically, you're encouraging them to do an Indiana Jones.
Just keep it on GrifballHub.
He's talking
Uh,
about maps.
okay, I'm
He's
like,
talking about the Grunt map, I think. Yeah.
just-
He's trying to
Yeah.
find the
Really weird
link.
talk-
I'm trying to find the grunt map right now, actually. What's it
we
called?
were talking about
Actually, when we get back into customs, we could show that off.
not the same
Where
thing.
is it, though? Who has
We'll
it?
find it. We'll find it and we'll play it tonight on the stream. Don't worry.
I promise.
Well,
There's a lot of time. We have 10 hours.
you guys have 11 hours.
11 hours time.
You have 11 hours.
Oh, boy.
So,
So with
Dusty, is there anything else you're looking forward to at RTX this year besides the GrifballHub booth?
So there's nothing else that's really comes to mind. I honestly haven't seen what other booths there are at RTX. Have they released that yet? I don't think they've released that yet.
I don't think they
Not yet,
have.
no.
Are you planning on doing a panel this year?
I don't know.
Because
between
panels are
me
due
move-
on March 31st.
Yes, panels
Yeah,
are due
but-
very soon.
Between me moving and a bunch of other stuff going on, I think I'm gonna just wait a year and do it next year to pick up.
Yeah.
What would
I've
your
been-
panel
so-
be on if you did do one?
So Goose has actually been on one of them. I've
2 years
done
ago.
I've done 2 panels on the art of podcasting. That was the name of my series. So the first one was kind of like a generic overview, and then the second panel was a more technical view at doing podcasts. So talked about software to use, hardware to use, what kind of microphones that you should use, certain techniques for being kind of efficient talking about things, or being more open, free flowing, what file formats to use, software to help level out audio, and all that kind of stuff. So that was the technical side of thing, and that was 2 years ago, because last year we had our 10-year anniversary party, and that took up pretty much that time. So, and also I want to try to get some other podcasting talent in for the next one, and I know the next one's going to be, whenever I decide to do it, it's going to be talking about the content of the show. So the first one again was like the overview, second one was technical, and then this one's going to be kind of like what kind of content should you talk about, whether it be if it's more of a business podcast, what should you talk about within your business, or if it's a fan podcast like ours is, should it be like what should you look about and cover, and are tangents good or are tangents bad, are they appropriate, type of language to use, all that kind of stuff.
So I
Pretty
was
much.
actually talking to Goose about doing a broadcasting, because I'll get my degree. I get my degree in June, and doing a broadcasting panel for broadcasters, which would include podcasters. You've done a panel before. Perhaps we should collaborate.
I like where you're going with that direction.
That could be a lot of fun.
I
Goose is
agree
going to be
too.
on 2 panels. at
Yay,
RTX.
ideas!
Goose is going to be doing 2 panels for RTX.
Yeah, at least 2.
I hope it's
I'm
only
just-
2.
Well, and you just did a couple of panels yourself, right?
It's not like I'm going to be able to do much at the booth.
Yeah.
But no, obviously we'll have the Grifball panel, which we do every single year. And I mean, these aren't confirmed, but that's what I'll be submitting, a Grifball panel. I can't imagine it would say no. And I'll do something related to mental health, games, stuff like I always do.
There's a sold out panel every year.
Sold out, yeah, quote unquote. But I mean, for example, at PAX, which is coming up in less than a month, I have a panel on what game design tells us about mental illness, and I'm really, really stoked about that one because that's based on some research that I've done for class. And
Including some things about Halo.
Yep. So I might do that one, or I might stick. I usually do one about, hey, guess what? Playing video games doesn't make you into a psychopathic murderer, and here's all the evidence that says why. And that usually goes over pretty well too. But so I'll see. And then of course, if there's this broadcasting one happens and DJ wants me on there, then I'll do that. And in the past, Cal and I have also done a Kickstarter panel, and not that we're going to do another one, but just to give you an idea about what you can do, because RTX is so community focused. They really want to give as much panel time as they can to the members of the community. So if there's something you're really passionate about, you should think about it.
Yeah, is there going to be a Grif? There is going to be a Grifball panel, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The first thing I said.
That's the standard.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm just making sure that I heard that correctly, because I was like, yeah.
Yes.
And for those of you who have never heard been to one of Goose's panels about the mental health thing, it's extraordinarily informative, like
Very insightful.
Beyond what I had expected or anticipated, with regards to insight into things that you see every day, but you don't actually think about thoroughly. And it was really neat to see.
I thought Goose was just going to be crap, but guess what?
I thought it was going to be very basic, but there was so much thought process that went into it in the detail that really changes the way that you think about the things that you see on a daily basis in the games, that every time that I play a game now, the first thing I do is look at it and analyze the storyline, the methodology, the play tactics, and what they're thinking, which in honesty helps me figure out some of the backdoors and side quests and where to find things in the game if you're thinking about it in that way. But there's so much thought that goes into planning these things. It's not just like, hey, listen, let's whip a game out. Fallout 4, we did it in 2 months. No, it takes years to make those things.
So Mango says Goose's panel needs more behavioral
analysis.
And you know what, Mango? I've offered, I'm like, if you want to do a behavior analysis of games, I'm down, buddy. I'm not a behavioral analyst. I'm not a behavior analysis expert. I do not do behavior modification as my main thing, so I wouldn't want to step on your Mango toes.
Mango, if you did a panel on that, I would totally attend it. Absolutely.
Do a panel analyzing all the banned players in Grifball history.
Oh my gosh, that would
multiple personality disorder McLaggers.
That would be a 3-day panel all on its own.
That'd be crazy.
I mean, all joking aside, it really does help understand why people do what they do. So, for example, stat patters, they're just griefers, blah, 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 blah. But if the game's going to reward you for playing a certain way and that maximizes your return, the amount of positive feedback you get, I'm not surprised that you do it. And that's exactly what we were talking about, the Grunt Stadium. If you're going to get rewarded for doing something that's counterintuitive to the goal, then the goal really no longer has the reward value. So to me, it just makes sense. So,
like Warzone.
The whole Warzone point we've had recently, with people. Since they released the that armor type
343. Hey, Achilles armor! If you complete these company commendations, everybody freaking team.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Here's the carrots.
We're gonna core farm this team of Grifballers. Oh wait, now we're all banned.
That got them real far. Yeah, it took what, 24 hours or
Not
less?
even.
Less than
I'm
that.
really proud. I can't help it.
Wow.
I'm really proud.
Oh yeah. Oh, you should be. That was an awesome. We all 12 people said no.
Yeah.
Like,
I want that kind of power.
Go Goose.
But
no. So again, RTX, really excited whether you go for the panels or the show floor, or to get stuff signed, or to just be a part of a really cool community event. I can't recommend it enough. Tickets are still available. They do sell out, but not like PAX where they're gone in 10 minutes. Not like San Diego Comic-Con where they're gone in 10 seconds. So just,
good God.
So I was, thankfully, when they did the reclaim tickets for PAX East, I was able to get a set. So I will be there.
Oh,
Yay! Awesome.
So Cal doesn't have a ticket. I have a secret badge. That's the only way I'm getting in.
We'll have to find a Friday badge.
And when is PAX East exactly?
PAX
what are the dates
East,
for that?
April
22nd through the 24th.
Gotcha. All right.
My panels are at 11 a.m.
up.
and at 2 p.m. in the Arachnid Theater on Friday, April 22nd.
Nice.
So going to PAX East, go to both the Goose's panels.
There you go.
Yeah. And then I'll fly home that night.
Yep.
Because,
Yeah.
As
DJ called it, Red Eye. And who's DJ? Why has he got his phone in his hand?
Sorry.
What are you doing there, DJ?
DJ looks excited, and I just don't react anymore.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Aw.
Other news, I just time traveled because we just had daylight savings. I've just gone ahead by 1 hour. So, yep, I've just traveled ahead in time.
So you're a Time Lord, is what you're saying.
Apparently, I do live in Wales where they film it all, to be fair. I have got the Rift about 200 miles away in Cardiff.
Oh,
So,
gosh.
yeah, quite possibly. But, yeah, now you are 1 hour further than me. It's not fair.
Aw. Dang it. So, with Grifball in Halo 5, there's obviously some changes that have been made. Is there anything in particular that you guys are doing for your, I guess, your league stuff, and possibly that is leading in towards the Grifball they're going to be playing at RTX, for doing any like custom course specifically for the league or for RTX, or do you have different game settings that's different from matchmaking? What's a little different with Halo 5 Grifball in that regard?
Well, the league settings vary from matchmaking settings in four main ways. There's lots of little tweaks, but most people would never even notice anyway. Big one is that we've gone back to rounds instead of the continual one-round multi-score. So back to one round per goal. We got rid of Spartan Charge because that is just the most annoying thing to ever exist on this planet. We got rid of the runner's ability to ground pound because that was a little bit too much of an insta-win. And then we also got rid of shields. So there are fewer ties.
For the tanks.
For the tanks. So there are fewer ties, and your hammer has a little more oomph to it. I don't know what I'm reaching for. Cannon says we're reaching.
Yeah. He's talking about the reason that the Grunt Stadium wasn't put in matchmaking. He's responding to Oogie.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, no, I don't want to encourage stat padding.
Yeah.
Done. But yeah, so those are the major changes. We don't have a set map yet for what we're going to play on. The game type isn't even set yet. We're going through the GGL, our recreational season right now. And, we're basically getting hundreds of Grifballers to play hundreds of games to really fine tune and find the best game type that there is. And then whatever map we do use for RTX will probably be incredibly plain and boring.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to take anything away from our players or have them distracted in any way.
Yeah, there's an AGLA season, with the AGLA being our more competitive Grifball league. A season of that's coming up later this spring before RTX. And for that, we're going to be looking for a default map, which is very boring, so that it's minimal distractions around you. And that's the type of map that we would use for an RTX tournament. So we'll do our big RTX tournament where we have all of our league players that can make it to RTX. Will sign up their very best teams, and they'll go head-to-head, and it'll be the best Grifballers there, and they'll be playing on the latest league settings on the latest league map. So it'll be the most competitive settings we can put together.
And my team, my own personal team, will finally be premiering at the RTX event. DJ's Respawn All Stars. Now, well, the NSAA will be there, but DJ's Respawn All Stars will be appearing.
Nice.
Alrighty.
We have enough people, but we're busy doing things, and plus we're not eligible.
Yeah, we're not allowed to play anyway.
Yeah.
Darn.
I know.
Wow.
I know. We'd win if we could, but
At least I need a team. DJ, is there a place?
What, for the Respawn All Stars?
Apparently so, because yes, please.
Yes, but we have to wear our headsets.
Curses.
Live stream with Crazy.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's freaking out with DJBlue and Receptor 17. Woo!
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see now with the whole setup of RTX with all the settings, where it might seem boring, but there's still the style points there along with the core. But I think more than anything, people aren't going to be concerned about the settings as such. They could be more interested in how these league players are going to play, because with DJB doing the commentating and the rest, etc., and Sonic and Goose, etc., I think that'll keep their interest going as opposed to how pretty the court is. I think they'll be more focused on the players themselves.
Well, and we're going to have to get people pushed through pretty fast, because, I mean, last year we had a nonstop line of people never ending around that booth wanting to play. And I foresee that happening again this year even more.
Well, I mean, we do what we can. We have the capacity that what we have.
We do have 16. Yep. Since we have 16 Xboxes set up, that means that 8 of them are going to be on our stage. Well, presume we hit the stretch goal, yada, yada. 8 of them will be put on the stage for the tournament games, and then 8 will be put off to the side at our booth so people can go and play other variants of Grifball. So that's where we'll have the goofy maps. That's where we might have, might even have Grunt Stadium there, where we'll have, probably a new minefield type map and different game types and, more silly Grifball stuff. that we can have at our side.
Pro.
Our side Grifball boxes. That's more the attendee boxes versus the tournament boxes up on stage. So we'll have room for all kinds of Grifball. Like we're not just all about, our Grifball booth isn't just all about Super Serial League players playing for $5,000. It's about celebrating all aspects of Grifball, including including matchmaking stuff.
Yep. Getting to meet all the people, the voices, the people behind the voices that we talk to all year long, and we compete with and play with and do all the fun things. Oh my God, you have one!
I do.
I've got one somewhere as well, actually.
Awesome.
He's looking at the Grifball plush, by the way, for those who are wondering what he's freaking out about.
Yay! He's got this giant Grifball plushie.
They're always quite popular. I mean, they actually were sold in the UK store about a year ago. They were the last ones around. We absolutely, they were gone in minutes. I still managed to collect 2 that day, but one ended up going to California.
Nice.
Yeah.
I also have this little guy.
Oh, the most sought after Grunt
plushie's
plushie ever. Yeah, for what Dusty's on his hand right now, that when 343 thought they would not sell, how wrong they were, because they were so popular.
Yeah, they bounced fast.
There's
one guarding Dr. Leo's door.
I have 8 stashed away for giveaways at some point.
What?
He's showing off now.
I have a box of. So when they sold them at PAX Prime 2 years ago, I think 2 years ago or something like that, they were like getting rid of inventory. So I lapped up, I think 13 of them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
so I still have some to like give away. So I might bring a couple to RTX for you guys to do some stuff with.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So DJ, you and I will have a specific swag bag just to sneak one up and hide it somewhere beneath the table.
Well, we could do that, or we can make a contest out of it.
Where we
All right,
bring
so once again, get a little into the weeds here. I think we're probably good though. I don't think there's anything else RTX or Kickstarter related that I can even think of.
So I've got a
No, we just
question.
think we've got everything set
I've
up.
got a
There'll
couple
be
more questions.
buddy,
I've got a couple more
how
questions.
big
Oh,
will the Grifball party be this time? Because remember, when we went to the meal afterwards, where we met everyone and everyone left, we practically took up an entire section of the restaurant. We just had this table after table, a perfect, like a great hall line of Grifballers all eating together.
Where was
That
it
was
last
one of the
year? I forget.
Most crazy parties I've ever seen.
That
Just
little place
nice.
behind.
Threadgills.
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
remember
Red
the
Hill.
later,
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah.
think of how many was it? Was it 24 plus? Because the barman there, he was such a cool guy. And he was he just saw this. They had to move all these tables together just to fit everyone in.
It wasn't even
for the
enough,
event.
too. We had more people come in afterwards, and they were filling out the other tables in that section.
Yep.
Okay, so for clarification, we said, I swore off at the beginning with 30 plus Grifballers. I'm not organizing anything. Like, there's no official meetup. They're like, it's just not happening because I don't have bandwidth for it. It's going to be very similar this year because I'll be a little bit preoccupied. But it was basically, hey, Goose, Cal, Leo, and whoever else was in our cadre are going to Threadgills for dinner. If you want to join us there, great. If not, but that's where we're going to go. And then it exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally, they found out, and it was literally we had you had Easy and Co from the Hair Squad all showing up. You had Shadow and the rest showing up. I mean, I think me and his wife were discussing talking shop for about an hour about optics, and then you had because then everyone else. It was just so many people. I'd never seen that many. We just I had chicken fried steak that day. It was gorgeous. So I've gone back to Texan foods again because I'm craving it so much.
No, if you want Texan food, you're talking steak.
Yeah, chicken fried steak. It was amazing.
No, not chicken fried steak. I'm talking steak. Get a
I don't think I
sirloin.
actually ever had a proper steak. I didn't actually have a proper
Get a
steak. when I was there.
sirloin. Get a sirloin with a loaded baked potato and some coleslaw.
Angus sirloin.
We call them jack potatoes,
Angus.
apparently.
Angus sirloin
Angus. Yep.
with a loaded baked potato and coleslaw and cornbread with sweet tea. That is
What's
like
cornbread?
Yes.
See, yeah. That is the Texas meal right there. Being someone who was
That is
born and
soul
raised in
food.
Texas. Oh yeah.
Yes,
Heck yeah.
That makes you feel good for days. For days. Now, granted, you can't eat like that every day because it's not
Why not?
healthy. What?
I might
Because it'll ruin eating anywhere else in the world.
I might actually
This is-
gain weight.
This is America. If you want to eat food like that every day and die at 40, you're perfectly welcome to do so.
Ow.
Oh dear, but now that we have ended the cuisine section of our podcast,
Oh goodness.
But yeah, I think
So there
Yeah, I
will
think-
be no official Grifball party / meetup because
it's too much
organization
hassle.
is just not.
No, for that many Grifballers, no.
That would be like a whole other Kickstarter unto itself. So
We would have to rent something out. Yeah.
I
yeah,
think
we'd
what'll
have
happen is,
to. We'd have to.
Well, your 10
Yeah.
year is coming up, and if I remember, some other community did
Grifball.
10 year and
We
got
still have a couple years. We got a couple years.
2018.
Yeah.
So, summer of
Yep,
2018
2
would be
years.
in the
yeah.
middle of our 10th year.
I know. I'm assuming there's going to be
Yeah.
something, right?
Oh, he's planning something.
Oh,
Right,
but
He's
maybe-
planning
you
something.
never know.
I
going to
whoa.
have a
I already did my 10 year. Now it's your turn.
Okay, seriously, dopamine and serotonin are the only two things in your life that you actually like. Those are the only two chemicals that make you feel good about something. So if you feel good about something, there is dopamine or serotonin involved.
For anybody listening to this on a podcast,
It's-
Goose is talking to people in the chat. That's just like a
You know how
peculiar non sequitur.
You know
They're,
how-
they're talking
Can
shop
Can I
again.
get one of those on
like,
ice?
rant about cats?
Yeah,
on the
can
I
ice?
rant about dopamine.
Can I come in with the squirty cream on the
Yes.
top with a little umbrella, please? I'll have a cocktail of dopamine, please.
I
Right?
just, like, if you
A
like
little bit of
something-
dopamine and serotonin on the rocks, a little bit of grenadine and an umbrella. Thank you.
Yes.
Can
All right,
we
well,
make that one of our
You
official
sweeten
cocktails
it up
this
just
year?
a scotch because it tastes kind of hormonal,
Are we good?
because they're hormones, right?
No, oh my God, no! Serotonin and dopamine are not hormones.
They're chemicals.
Oh my God.
I think this is like you don't like those dog whistles.
I've
you can
broken
put
Goose.
dogs in the ear and drive.
We have broken Goose. This is not a
I
good
feel
thing
like
to
that
do.
happens.
Let's
I
get
feel
back
like
to. I think we need to get back to some Grifball. Let's restore some sanity here in the podcast a little bit.
So,
I am taking my co-host
I'm
reins and
gonna-
I am putting it to use right now. So let's get back on some Grifball. As far as
I quit.
So-
I'm done.
as far as you guys were planning for anything RTX in the future, did you ever think you would get to the point where you'd be making your own stage? And
No.
how do you go bigger from
See-
here? Because every year you've gotten bigger with either a bigger booth,
have our own
more
convention.
swag.
Grifcon.
Like the only thing is like I am constantly
next?
amazed that Grifball is as big as it is. Like Grifball has no business even continuing to exist. Like Grifball has no business being around.
It's
It
my
has
life
no
thing.
business being part of Halo anymore. Like Grifball should have died out in like the fall of 2008 when Rooster Teeth lost interest in it. But it's only because Grifball has a good-sized and super duper dedicated community behind it that they just continually will it into existence and will things like Grifcon to come together and happen. Like there is like Grifball's a silly game type that you're running around the core spec.
It's not a silly game type.
like,
Have
like
you
you're running
played
around,
Grifball?
you're running around a basketball
Yeah.
court whacking each other with giant sticks. I mean,
Look at
Like,
the
yeah.
pro teams that are out there. They're they can.
no, that's exactly what I mean though.
They
Is
can
like
get cut.
Grifball in the face is ridiculous, but it's because we have this dedicated community of super hardcore Grifballers that just love it so much. And we have so many talented people in the community that can just contribute so much to continue to push it along and make it better and better all of the time. It's just, that's the only reason why it's still around. So every time Grifcon comes around, every time my Kickstarter gets funded, every time we can put together something as awesome as our Grifball booth, I am just dumbstruck that this is a thing that exists.
And as far as going, what the future looks like, we've already started talking about RTX 2017 because Cal hates me. And
I'm
to,
planning the Halo 6 Grifball now as well.
I mean, to go bigger, quote unquote, would be to not have a Kickstarter, to be
Yeah.
able to have enough support and funding
And the
from
child of
partners,
Grifball will be
allies,
upon us.
and sponsors so that we could have a booth and a stage and do all this stuff, but we wouldn't have to lean on our community to do it, or lean on our community in a much smaller way. So instead of having a $13,000 Kickstarter, maybe having a $2,000 Kickstarter where people could basically pre-order their RTX
It would be
swag.
like a merchant swag Kickstarter, not a,
Yeah.
here's the, we need to buy the 800 square feet of Grifball space for thousands and thousands of dollars, but more
Yeah.
like, hey, we want to do a run of t-shirts and
Yeah.
lanyards and stuff.
So that's one idea of going big. And I know one thing that I would like to think about is it'd be really cool to sponsor a team. So, for example, the AGLA ends and we would give like ticket and hotel and entry to the top team, the team that won the AGLA, or the top two teams that won the AGLA, to make sure that they were both there at RTX. I mean, so these are like very, very much larger ideas, but that's kind of how I think we grow bigger. Is not even so much. I mean, obviously we can grow space wise as well, but I would love to be able to, send a team or have like a Grifball scholarship where people could like submit a video or send something in, and then we would be able to pick, enough to send like 3 or 4 people, all expenses paid trip to RTX, to kind of give back to our community for helping us out.
It's also, like Goose said, a goal would be no longer to do a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And then build the booth from there. And it kind of was surprising to us to try to fully realize everything that the Grifball community brings to the table for potential sponsors for us.
Our milkshakes bring all the sponsors to the yard.
Like, we are not the size of HCS. Like, we stream our championship game, and if we get press, if we get featured on the front page of Twitch, if we get some, retweets from bigger organizations, like if Bernie Burns from Rooster Teeth or Halo or, folks at 343 retweet us and we get on the front page of Twitch and all that, like our championship game will get like 1,000 viewers, like 1,000 to 2,000 viewers. But we're not pulling in HCS numbers of, how many people they had, like 50,000, 100,000, whatever.
Huge.
They confirmed that they had 100,000 unique viewers.
Wow.
Like
during the
that's
weekend.
nuts. Like that's
massive.
Like, so our biggest championship game with everything that we could muster streaming online is like 1/20th, 50th the size of what the $2.5 million HCS stream gets. But what we bring to something like RTX is the GrifballHub name, the fact that we've been exhibiting there for a number of years, the fact that we have close relationships with 343 and with Rooster Teeth, and with other organizations like Games and Gamers Galaxy and now Stream.me and Twitch and places like that. So for companies that want to exhibit at RTX or want to get a foothold at RTX or want to, be seen positively by RTX attendees, associating themselves with Grifballhub is an excellent way to get that done, apparently.
Somebody wants to have signage at a booth that gets major traffic and it's never empty.
Yeah. So it's pretty awesome to realize how much GrifballHub being at RTX means for not only for Grifballers and not only for GrifballHub as an entity, but also for other people who go to RTX, that they really look forward to seeing the GrifballHub booth there, and it means a lot to them.
It means a lot to us too, to see it there, to see it come to life. And then when we break it down, it takes a quarter of the time. Then I cry.
Yeah, it takes like 8 hours to set up the booth and then about 8 minutes to tear it down.
Are you playing Bloodsport at the moment, DJ?
All right.
No?
That's
DJ's disowned.
There's a
Yeah,
lot.
we can see the reflection on the screen.
Dusty, did you have any more questions?
So I did issue a challenge before we got started, and I wanted to see what our progress was, to see if the challenge got completed.
No. I don't even need to look. No, the challenge is not completed.
All right.
We
17,275.
Okay, because if we're done, I know there's a bunch of people in the chat who are looking to get into Grifball Customs, and so I don't want to keep them waiting. But no, that we appreciate Dusty throwing down the challenge. Grifballers did not rise to the occasion because we're lazy. I mean that in a really good way. Like,
Yeah.
No,
you're good. I did try to get our company to get together a Grifball team, but there just wasn't enough interest.
Maybe for RTX.
Maybe for RTX. But I do want to get back in the Grifball game at some point. I might team up with What the Grif again. So
Yeah.
that might be another avenue that I'll go back down.
We played What the Grif a few times this season.
we do.
Yeah, bring back the old other rivalry.
And there's something I'm still working on, which
Is it ever going to happen?
yes, it is.
Oh.
It is. I actually have
Okay.
something in hand for it.
Because I've been waiting
I
years
know.
now.
I know.
Okay.
But yes, it is happening.
Good.
It is
All
happening.
right, well, that's it for the Grifball Hub end of things. If you're in the chat, stay tuned. We're going to get some custom lobbies going. So I'll just hand it over to Dust since I brought us in. Why don't you take us out?
So thanks everyone for tuning in to the Grifball Hub 24-hour live stream, supporting their Kickstarter to bring Grifball to RTX 2016, or aka Grifcon. Make sure you check them out over at GrifballHub.com. You can follow them on Twitter. They're on Facebook. And on YouTube, they have some really good videos introducing you to Halo 5 Guardians Grifball, what's different, what you need to know, and all that fun stuff. So make sure you go check them out over there. And then for our stuff please make sure you check us out over on podtacular.com. You can find us on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, all that fun stuff. We normally record our shows on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and GrifballHub records their shows at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Sundays. So make sure you check out both of those shows live streamed, of course, on Twitch TV. As for us, we do our company events on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for Arena and Warzone respectively at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we also have our Customs Fragging Fridays. In conjunction, GrifballHub also has their Grifball nights on Wednesdays as well at 9 p.m. And they also have Thursday nights for Grifball as well, also at 9 p.m. So make sure you check them out on their Twitch channel for those times as well. For Podtacular, make sure you check out the podcast network. We are a conglomerate of gaming-specific podcasts. We are joined by the likes of ChrisCast, Guardian Radio, The Learning Cliff, Work in Progress, and How to Murder Times. So you can go check them out over at podka.st for more information, and let them know that we sent you over there, and take a listen to some of the shows. That's going to do it for us tonight for Podtacular, and for those of you tuning into the Grifball stream, you guys have another, 10 and a half hours to go, I believe?
Yay, 10.5 hours.
So, good luck, good streaming. Please, for everybody listening to Podtacular, please go support Grifball. They have another week or so, a little more than a week of this recording to get their fundraiser completed towards that extra stretch goal of $21,000 for the full-on streaming setup, which personally, to me, I would really like to see happen. So, please don't let me down. Please. All right. Until next time, everybody, keep on fragging Grif.
If you have frags and Grifball, we need to talk.
No. Fragging is a good thing in this case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.